Hallo, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Feli.
And I'm Timo.
This is my brother, and we're currently in my hometown, Munich, Germany, which is where I'm from, as you can see by my channel title. And today we decided to do a long requested video where we cook a Bavarian meal for you and just document it and show you how it's done. So first, let's get some groceries. And since I haven't told you yet what exactly we're cooking, let's see if you guys can figure it out based on the ingredients. First, we get some mushrooms and parsley, and then the main ingredient, Knödelbrot, dumpling bread, which is basically just dried and cut up old bread rolls. You can technically just use old bread for this, but in Germany, or at least here in Bavaria, you can also buy it like this at the store, or even get it at the bakery. We also got some heavy cream and milk, and we didn't get any beer, but I wanted to show you what the drink selection by the checkout looks like in Germany. Okay, so we're back from the store, and these are all of the ingredients. Bunch of mushrooms, onions, parsley, butter. We need some heavy cream, eggs, some white wine, and then this is our red cabbage. Yeah, we're not making that from scratch. In case I haven't mentioned it yet, we are going to make Semmelknödel with Rahmschwammerl and Blaukraut. So in English, it's gonna be bread dumplings, Bavarian bread dumplings with creamy mushroom sauce and red cabbage over there. Let's go. For 4 servings, you'll need Knödelbrot from about 10 bread rolls. If you buy it from the store, it'll say how much it is on the bag. If you use your own bread, just use the equivalent of about 10 German bread rolls and make sure that it's wheat bread, that it's fully hardened, and I would just try to use bread that isn't too sweet, as it often is in the US. So you start out by putting your bread into a big bowl, boil a 1/4 liter of milk, and then pour that over your bread. Then you cover the bowl with a dish towel and let it sit for about 10 minutes. I've linked the full recipe in the info box below, by the way, in German and in English with both metric and imperial units. We were actually going for 5 to 6 servings, so you'll see us use a little bit more than what the recipe says, but in this video I'll refer to the amounts for 4 servings, since those are all nice, even numbers. So while you wait, you can go ahead and chop up 2 medium-sized white onions. The finer, the better. Keep in mind that the medium size refers to German onions, which are generally much smaller than American onions, so I'd honestly only use half an American onion or less. And then also finely chop up 1 bunch of parsley. Once the 10 minutes are up, you can go ahead and mix almost all of the parsley, except for 2 tablespoons that we want to save for the sauce, half of the onion, and 4 eggs into the bowl of bread, and add some salt and pepper. Now, we're about to make our dumplings, but before you get your hands dirty, I recommend putting a big pot of salted water onto the stove and let it get to a boil. So now comes the fun part. Now we're gonna use our hands. I took off all my hair ties. Wash your hands before you do this. I already washed mine because I already washed the mushrooms. And now you just dig in there and turn this all into one big mass and then form your dumplings that are gonna be about this big. So let's see. Jetzt kann man so richtig Foodporn machen. So I only put 4 of the 5 eggs in here at first to kind of see how wet, slimy it's gonna be, because the eggs are basically what makes it like moist, right? So without the eggs, you wouldn't be able to do this. And you don't want it to be too moist and soft, because then you can't really form anything out of this. So I honestly don't know if we need the last egg right now. So that's maybe a tip if you do this at home. Put the eggs in gradually to kind of see how many you actually need. So now I'm gonna start forming the dumplings. So it might look a little messy, but bread dumplings, Semmelknödel, are supposed to be kind of messy. Like it's supposed to be super smooth. So what I do is usually I just take like kind of a tennis ball size, I guess. You just take it and then you start kind of like if you're forming a snowball or something like that. You just kind of squeeze it together, squish it, make it like a little bit more dense. And you can roll it if you want to. It kind of depends on like how round you want them to be. Okay, so this looks pretty good to me. So now I'm just gonna go over to our boiling salt water. And yeah, things are gonna get messy, but it's part of the deal. And I'm just gonna put it in here, and then you let all of your dumplings boil for 20 minutes. Now onto the creamy mushroom sauce, and our main ingredient is, of course, the mushrooms. Wash them and then cut the bigger ones into halves or quarters. Smaller ones can stay whole. Heat up 1 tablespoon of butter in a pan and then add both the other half of the onions and the mushrooms to the pan and sauté for about 10 minutes. Season with salt and pepper and add the remaining parsley. In the meantime, our dumplings look like this, by the way. Now we're going to make a Mehlschwitze, or roux in English, by heating up 2 tablespoons of butter, and once it's melted, we'll stir in about 2 tablespoons of flour. Keep stirring until all the clumps are gone. Then add a 1/4 liter of broth. We used vegetable broth and a 1/4 liter of white wine. This is what makes the sauce extra delicious if you ask me. Stir and briefly bring to a boil. Then add salt, pepper, and 200 milliliters of cream and mix. Then add the sauce to the mushroom and onion mix, or vice versa, depending on the size of pans you used. And you're not supposed to bring it to a boil again, but if you feel like it's a little too runny still, you can keep it on the stove and stir for a little bit longer. Last but not least, we just heated up the red cabbage from the jar. There are recipes out there to make this from scratch, but this is a lot quicker and the ones from the jar taste so good that this is what I always go with. In the US, you can sometimes find these jars at Aldi or at international stores. This one even had some apple added to it. Once that was heated up, we served it all and everyone loved it.
Und?
Das schmeckt echt gut. Really good.
Das war nicht gut.
Ja.
If you want to try this at home, I would love to see your results. So if you share it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or any other platform, please don't forget to tag Feli from Germany so that I can see it and share it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little different from my usual content. If you did, make sure to subscribe, activate the notification bell, and if you want to, leave a tip via the Super Thanks button underneath the video, ko-fi.com, or by joining my Patreon page. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Tschüss!